So this is my tutorial for how to do the Annabelle doll makeup. I started by just putting regular foundation on and then going to my Bare Minerals powder foundation over the top of it just to kind of set it. And then I went over with a white eyeliner to give myself kind of a dolly look. I think that the white eyeliner kind of makes your eyes look bigger, as I've seen other times in other sort of anime tutorials, so I thought that would be a good thing to do here. I also left the bottom of my eyes very plain, you'll see later in the video, and look, there's a Corpy in the background. So after I did the white, I went in with a brown eyeliner. I used soft brown from MAC, it's just the one that I like to use. And I just started with my crease and then kind of just made the whole eyelid sort of one flat color. Normally I would not do that, but for this look I decided that that was what I wanted to do here. Annabelle's makeup is very dramatic, so I really am just trying to create shadows here with all the eyeliner I'm doing. I purposely, whenever I posted any pictures with this look on, made my face sort of at a downward angle to just really accentuate the shadows. That's really all I'm doing here, is just really making shadows. And then I started to kind of connect to my eyebrow, because you can see in the picture of Annabelle that it is very just dark, so then I went in with a much skinnier brush, and then I started to create sort of a cat eye with the eyeliner. The next thing that I want to do is try to start hiding my eyebrows. Later on I'm going to draw on my own eyebrows, so I really want my eyebrows that I have now to sort of start blending into the eyeshadow, just looking like I have a really large area above my eyes. To do that, all I did was use foundation and then went over it with powder and set the foundation, just giving my eyebrows a slightly lighter brown look from how they normally are. Then I went back in with that really skinny brush with the brown and started to connect the eyeshadow to my eyebrows. The top of my eyebrows is meant to look like my eyeshadow at the end, so I want it to be all cohesive and in one sort of fluid shape. In the interest of dramatics, I decided to do something kind of interesting by creating a triangular shape in the corner of my eyes. To do that, I just cut a triangle out of tape and stuck it above the cat eye eyeshadow I had put there earlier. If you do this, make sure you stick it on pretty good, and when you do apply the eyeshadow, apply sort of in the direction that the triangle's pointing, like an arrow. You want to go from outside in, because you want the tape to stick down and you want the very dramatic, harsh points to be on the inside. If you go against the point of the tape, you're very likely going to get eyeshadow underneath the point, so just keep doing it the way I'm doing it here and just going with that direction. I'm not usually one for such a solid flat color in my eyeshadow, so to create more depth, I'm just going in with black in the crease of my eye, just to make the brown have a, darker brown, black in the crease to give more depth and just to not be so flat and one solid color. As I mentioned earlier, I want to add my own eyebrows later on, because Annabelle's eyebrows are nothing like mine, and since I don't shave off my eyebrows like Porphy does, I have to draw them above my eyebrows that I have now, and I don't know what's going on here, but the camera was moving. So I started with a very light eyebrow pencil that I had, just drawing where I wanted them to be. And I'll go back in with that later, but for now I'm just going to do my cat eye eyeliner like I showed in my other video. Basically I just go across my eye, nice thick black line, and once that part's done, then I start drawing in the point, sort of roughly following where I put the eyeshadow cat eye before, but this is much more precise than the eyeshadow, so I kind of just do this how I want to do it, even if it's not exactly where the eyeshadow was. So as I mentioned before, I have to draw on my own eyebrows. I'm just using an eyeliner pen here. This one's the Maybelline Super Slim eyeliner, and I'm just going over those lines I drew earlier. I know it's very hard to see in the video, but there is very, very, very light brown lines there that I had drawn before, and I'm just basically going over them. Annabelle just has one solid black line. She's a painted doll, so it's just, to look like a paintbrush stroke across your face. And now that I have that eyebrow, I am going back in and darkening what's meant to be my eyeshadow, just a little darker to make it more dramatic, more fluid, blah blah blah. And when I rip those triangles off, I have those very dramatic points. Now, I see how it kind of looks a little weird from this angle, but when you look down, it does create a very dramatic shadow. Then I'm going on to the cheeks. Once upon a time, Annabelle did start out as a regular doll before her makeup faded, so I'm starting with pretty super red cheeks, and then I'm kind of go back and remove it to create the age of the sort of chipping paint. And then I'm going over with white eyeshadow to continue to fade it out and make it look aged and older and not so perfectly painted. Now again, since Annabelle is painted, she does have very dramatic lines in her face, so here I'm just going in and darkening the natural lines of my face. Later on I do work on lightening these, and at the end I pretty much almost remove them entirely because it's just a very light shadow that's being created there. I also wanted to shadow in her nose a little bit, just continuing on with that very dramatic line of the eyeshadow down onto the nose. I also went back in and added some more brown under the eyes, just to create more age, more sort of a dirty look, just making me look like I've been tossed around in an attic for quite a long time. I feel like the most important part of this look is Annabelle's bright red lips, but just like I did with the cheeks, I'm starting with perfectly painted red lips and then going in later to show the age. Annabelle has a really solid black liner on her lips, but in the interest of making this a more wearable look, I really didn't want to just paint a solid, thick black line around my lips. So I started with just the same brown eyeshadow as I use in my eyes. I went over the lips with a sort of dark red, opaque lip gloss that I had. I found that this really just was more of an Annabelle color. The bright red seemed so bright. I really wanted something just a little bit more muted to add to the age of the look of the doll. Then I went over the brown eyeshadow with a black eyeliner, though I'm not pressing super hard as I'm not trying to create a super dramatic line as I did with the eyebrows. Annabelle is a doll, so of course she needs fake dolly eyelashes. I picked these ones that they call Spider-Woman, though I really feel like they're much more dolly than Spider-Woman. I've had them in my drawer for a couple of years. I bought many, many packs of them on sale after Halloween one year, so I'm not sure if this is a style that's still available. Though I'm sure if you went to any Halloween store or just looked at even any eyelashes, you could find something that would work for this. Doll eyelashes really just need to be dramatic, so any type of really dramatic eyelashes should do the trick here. Anytime I ever apply fake eyelashes, I always go over it with mascara. Any black mascara will work. Here I'm using the Miss Manga, but I'm not really thrilled with it, but it does the job in this scenario. The other important thing is don't put mascara under your eyes. You want that white eyeshadow to be really prominent. Plus, we're going to draw in the bottom eyelashes. Annabelle has eyelashes painted on, so I wanted to use the eyelashes on top, but on the bottom I wanted to actually paint them in how she has them. So I just drew 3 little lines in the corner of my eye. And for that, again, I just used the super slim pen eyeliner that I used before. And that's really it for the makeup look. Annabelle has 2 long braids. Though I don't have the strawberry blonde hair that Annabelle does, I decided to just stick with my normal hair. My hair is very thin, however, so I did decide to add some more extensions, just to make my hair a little bit thicker to make the braids a little bit wider. I was just doing this look for a fun club night. However, if you wanted to make this your Halloween costume, you could consider getting a wig. And there you have it, the completed Annabelle hair and makeup look. When I was researching pictures for reference photos, I found out that the Annabelle movie is coming out on October 3rd. I was just using this look from The Conjuring and didn't know that she was having her own movie coming out, so that was pretty exciting to find out. I was not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by the movie to do this video, but I did want to toss it in there. Now, if you're into spooky things like me, you might know that Annabelle's based on a true story. If you want to find out more about that, look up Ed and Lorraine Warren's Annabelle doll. If you want, you can even go and see it in their museum. The original Annabelle is really just a Raggedy Ann doll. So instead I decided to go for the Conjuring version of her. I really just wore a white dress, a white bra, and glued some red ribbon onto it. Once I was all ready, I handed the camera over to Porpy and took these creepy photos. Thank you so much for watching our first ever full-length tutorial, and thank you for watching this episode of Ghost Tentacles. Please subscribe to our channel and fill your life with octoplasm. In the coming weeks, Porpy will be doing her Lady Pinhead tutorial.